Australians, so let us rejoice, for we are young and free.
They changed that
with
lyric.
Golden medals, Cambo.
Do you know that
did they change that too? So the gold medals we've got?
They have changed that as well, yes. But they kept the word girt. And only Australians will get that joke.
Yeah, we get. We are very girt.
Our national anthem, and this is not a joke, contains the word girt.
What do you think girt means?
Yeah, well, are you asking me? Because I know, but I only know because of the song.
No, I mean other people.
Yeah.
All Australians know what girt means, but we're the only people in the world.
But yes, I believe, no, that's our national anthem. For those of you that didn't recognize it, I believe they've changed it to one in free.
For we, because I said young and free. Oh, but now we're getting a bit old.
We're getting a bit long in the tooth.
Yeah, that's right. I can't believe they've actually changed the lyrics.
I think they have. I might be spreading false information there, but
illegal.
That is illegal.
That's why the American national anthem still mentions slavery. Yeah, you can't hide behind that anymore.
I think it mentions states' rights, Nelson. It's
yeah.
a common misrepresentation.
Yeah.
Now,
Cambo, we had people write in.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, they were angry. They were rioting in the streets. Not nearby, thank God. But we just heard that they were. And they said, hey, you had no Olympic content last week.
Yeah.
And I've been all about the Olympics.
Which is sad. People do often turn to us for their Olympic coverage. So I feel like we have let them down in that regard.
We have let them down. Yep.
If we're going to be...
They go, oh, I'm looking forward to the Reddit podcast.
If we're going to be the podcast people turn to for their Olympic coverage, and that's what we pride ourselves on being, then that's
the category we're in on Apple iTunes. Olympic coverage. Yeah.
I mean, we spent all this money becoming an official partner. You'd think we would do more with that.
Not cheap. Anyway, so for that reason, we've got, for the first time in a while, a themed episode.
Yeah.
Olympic themed episode. So get buckled in. I know that the youth don't care about Olympics anymore. And probably, I would say, our audience. But we're going to do it anyway.
Yeah.
So here's the first post. This is by A Strong 88. There was a picture. This one came back. Okay. Apologies, everyone. These female swimmers are absolutely These female swimmers are absolutely incredible, just quietly. And there was a picture of 4 Australian swimmers who won. Well, here's the thing. Do you know why they're so incredible, Cambo?
I mean, they're Australian swimmers. We have a lot of incredible swimmers in Australia. I don't know. Haven't seen the picture. I don't even know who these swimmers are.
They are so absolutely incredible, Cambo, because they won gold.
Yeah,
that's it.
Yeah,
that's it. Yeah. I just feel like if everybody's incredible that won a gold, the word incredible gets overused.
Did Oscar Pistorius win a gold?
Yes. No? Yes.
I mean, he won a gold in murder, at the very least. We don't know.
Gold in murder. And should we celebrate that?
That's what I'm saying.
Incredible?
That's what I'm saying.
I don't think so. Yeah, here's the thing. I think it's funny. Now, I'm assuming this is the same in every country, but I'd like to know. But at the time of when the Olympics comes around, all Australians, all of a sudden, get really interested in swimming.
Yeah.
Because it's the only event that we're actually good at.
Well, just quickly, which subreddit was this from?
I think it was in the Australian subreddit.
Oh, yeah. Okay. That makes... I was about to say... If other people are going, geez, these Australians are great swimmers, I'd be like, oh, that's nice. But if it's Australian...
Sorry.
Us bragging about swimming is like par for the course.
Yeah. But here's the funny thing, I think. Swimming is such an incredibly boring sport to watch.
Yeah.
Like, legitimately. Nobody is actually interested in. I can't imagine anyone else in the world being interested in swimming except us, just because we have so many good swimmers.
And the reason we're so good at swimming is because we are girt by sea.
We are girt by sea. What happened was, when we were all convicts, how do you get away from a prison that's girt by sea? Swimming only. You've got to swim. Inevitably, they'd catch us.
Yeah,
we procreated. It's in the genes.
You'd swim down to Van Diemen's Land, perhaps.
Oh, that was like swimming from one prison to a worse prison.
I saw a thing on Reddit. I wish I had have saved it. I didn't know we were doing an Olympic special. Someone explained the life cycle of Australia in any Olympic Games.
Yeah.
Which is, it starts off with all the swimming. The swimming is very top heavy in the Olympics. And Australia goes, oh my God, guys, we're like right at the top. I think currently we're like,
look at all the medals we got. I saw one just recently that was like, we've got more gold medals than America. Has that even happened before?
Yeah.
Like, yes, always at the start.
Yes. And then as the swimming stops, we go down a little bit. So currently I think we're at about third.
Yeah.
I think
we're there.
Towards the end, you start getting more of your like track and field style events that Australia doesn't do so well in.
Yeah.
And we dip down a lot. And then the last step, the fourth step, was always like, well, we did better than New Zealand.
Yeah. Which isn't hard, but we still like to rub it in.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. We did have Kathy Freeman, obviously, as our runner. She was
in 2000.
But literally that was the last time that we were
yeah,
Aussies on the track and field. We get it.
We had a guy called Matt Shervington, and he was equally as known for running pretty quickly, but also he had like a really prominent bulge in one of the Olympic Games that became like news coverage in like 2005 for a while.
Right. Exactly.
So yeah, that's the state of our running. We're like, look at his dick.
Yeah.
And now he hosts the morning
Aussies
show.
can't run very well, but we're well and down.
But swimmers, not short of them.
Not short of them. Got too many.
Americans, ever heard of the torpedo?
It is a good name, honestly. Yes. Anyway, my point is swimming, super boring to watch. Because I would say a lot of people find racing in general sort of boring.
Mm-hmm.
Like, but also I know there's like obviously gazillions of people that really do love that type of stuff, like NASCAR or something like that, where you're like just going around the track. Blah, 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 blah. But for some reason, swimming is like the most boring version of a race because one, no gigantic crashes that you can get in some races where they're actually going super fast. Swimming is like, do you know what swimming is the equivalent of?
What's that?
Speed 2. When they're on the boat and they're like, oh no, we're going so fast. And then it cuts to a wide shot and they're like, very slowly.
We've only got 2 days to stop this shit.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, that's what swimming is. You're like, I guess they're going fast.
Yeah.
In comparison, I suppose.
Do you think that swimming is more boring than just running? Because I think so. At least swimming, there's a risk. There's more of a risk in swimming than running that, like, they could drown. If everything goes wrong.
But still so low, like incredibly low.
Yeah, but even lower for running. If someone drowned while they're running, I'd be very confused.
That would be wild. Yes, but there's a higher probability of a stack.
Mm-hmm.
And that's more entertaining.
What is the swimming version of hurdles?
I think it's just butterfly.
Yeah, I know butterfly, they come in and out a lot. Because hurdles are always great for a stack.
Yeah. Exactly. That's what you want to see. Or even just like the long distance running when they end up in a little pack. You know, you're like, well, if one person stacks here, there's like at least 3 other people going down. That's cool. In swimming, it's like if somebody just fails the worst they can possibly fail at a swimming event, aside from drowning, which I'm going to go on record and say it's never happened in the Olympics, but maybe it has. And Like they're just slow. Like that's the worst case scenario. That's so boring to watch. You're literally watching little dots being like, which dot is currently the fastest? Is my country represented by that dot? Good. Yeah. Great. So boring.
Did you go to any of the Olympic events when they happened in Sydney in 2000?
No, but I think I went to the Commonwealth Games in Melbourne, which was in something.
What did you see?
Actually, do you know what I really liked?
Just for some people not in the Commonwealth, that's a games we have separately, so you can't beat us.
Yeah. so the Americans and the Chinese can't beat us in everything. It's literally like I think the British started to be like, ha ha ha, now we'll be able to win everything. But then Australia came in, they're like, oh damn it. No, that's not true. They obviously do very well themselves. Anyway, in the Commonwealth Games, what I really liked was the velodrome, which is obviously just racing and boring. But the cyclists, just the way that they strategize when racing in a team, like if there's a race where it's like 4 cyclists altogether, two teams, and the way there's like a strategy because you have to be in like each other's slipstream and stuff, but then like 2 will try and race ahead kind of thing, and then I don't know, it's just really interesting, because it's more than just the race, it's kind of like the strategy of how to get ahead, and sometimes somebody will try and break off, but then they're not fast enough, and then they have to suck eggs and go to the back of the like little slipstream line that they have. Anyway, and I think I don't even think I went to the swimming or anything. I can't remember what I watched otherwise. Did you go see something at Sydney Olympics?
I did. Based on you knowing my father, what do you think I went and saw?
Shooting.
Correct.
Yeah.
my brother used to be on the state team for shooting, so there was a vested interest in that competitive field anyway. So don't piss my brother off is the short story.
That's what I feel like is the other thing necessarily when the Olympics comes around. Everybody, I'm not saying this is the case just now, but when there's somebody inevitably like I was like, oh, at one point in my life, I could have made it. And you're like, I don't think so. You have to be pretty darn good to go to the Olympics. Yes. Anywho, okay. Let's get into Ask Reddit. Ask Reddit. This Ask Reddit is by Man Pooper. Oh. We have the Summer Olympics and the Winter Olympics. What events would be in the Fall Olympics?
Running, because they always fall over.
Olympics. Can't believe that was good. That was a good fall joke.
Thank you.
Or skydiving.
Well, Tom Cruise is going to skydive at this closing ceremony of the Paris Olympics.
Is he really?
Yeah, to help to signify the transition that the next Olympics will be in LA.
Oh, right. Okay. Wow, that is so funny.
Yeah.
What if this was... Could you imagine? Like, I hope not. But what if this is his undoing? What if this time the stunt that he's doing in front of the entire world is the one where his parachute fails and he dies? And we're like, oh, shit. Didn't think this would be the way it happens.
I would say as long as everyone's looking at him, he's fine with it. If he goes out and the whole world's watching, that's all he's ever wanted, I think.
In fact, I think he'll be so annoyed if he dies from old age in his bed.
Yeah, with like 2 people around.
Yeah.
Like,
honestly, no. I'd be annoyed too. I want to go out. I would like to skydive to my death
at the Olympic Games.
I'm looking at you, 2064.
Well, it'll be in Brisbane soon enough. You could get up there.
Is it really going? Yeah. Is it one after?
Yeah.
Is it? Oh my god. The funny thing, as I wasn't one of the posts that I picked up, but there was somewhere. Oh shit! I can't remember the name of the city. There was a city hosted the Olympic Games, and they were like. They were in billions of dollars of debt after the Olympic Games.
Oh, yeah, the Olympic curse is really interesting.
It doesn't actually make you money.
No, in fact, a lot of the times it costs you money.
Yeah.
It makes the IOC money.
Yeah.
To be clear, the people
Yeah.
that put the event on, but the city often their pitch is always like, well, think of the tourism that you'll pick up and
The
people
tax.
that will be
so much
aware,
tax.
the tax. But a lot of the time, that especially in an economy like this, where cost of living sucks, it doesn't really work that way anymore.
Yeah, I think it's really funny. It's if anything, it'll be the thing that kills the Olympics, where every city in the world is like, no, thank you.
Yeah.
I do not want that debt. Can't afford it.
I've heard a thing that I don't know how true this is, but some cities take out insurance against being selected to host the Olympics.
No, because you have to put your name in. You can't just fucking get the.
I would imagine that it's like a political. I don't think it's real. I think it's like a political maneuver to be like, I am against it, therefore. You know what I mean? Like a political grandstanding to be like, I think it's so bad that I'm going to take out insurance on the city in case it happens because I disagree with it.
Okay. Yeah. That would actually be the real con, is to take insurance out on it, but then, shake some hands and make sure that you're elected to the city. Then you've got like an insurance company like, hey, we lost $5 billion. Please reimburse us, insurance company. They just wouldn't, though, wouldn't they? No. Would they? I feel like there's no way an insurance company loses. They'll be like, we're just going to go bankrupt. And sorry.
Yeah.
Not us, just the entity of us. Yeah. And tomorrow we're going to open up a new insurance company. Anywho, Fall Olympics, Cambo.
Mm-hmm.
What events? This is what I think.
Orienteering.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's a good one. Just sort of check around.
Get out in nature, have a hike.
Yeah, mark where certain things are. I don't really know.
Me neither.
Entirely of orienteering. To me, it's like hiking, but with admin. That's what it sounds
all the
like
ones that are coming to my head have made me just realize I'm just thinking of the Scouts.
Okay.
So I was going to be not tying.
Do you know what? It does seem like for some reason, when I think Scouts, I do sort of think of like autumn weather.
Yeah.
It ties in together. So yeah, I think that could be
pie baking.
Pie baking is a good one. I was thinking just like my imagination for a nice autumn day.
Yeah.
Is like, sitting on a rocking chair, looking out at the falling leaves with a comfy blanket around you and a cup of hot cocoa.
Mm-hmm.
It's not quite, winter, but it's like it's a little bit chilly and you just feeling nice.
Yeah, you've got a nice cable knit jumper on.
Yeah, I think there's like a cozy. There needs to be cozy sports. Because in some sports, obviously, where it's just based on judges. Mm-hmm. Like scoring something, maneuvers and whatnot. I would like one that's like the cozy event. Who can just look the coziest?
You've got 10 minutes to get as cozy as possible.
As cozy as possible. You can bring all the props you want.
Yeah.
No, maybe you're given an amount of money.
Yeah.
$100 in the currency of whatever country you're in.
Yep.
And you have to buy the coziest things possible and then look real cozy.
If I was a judge, though, I would say you're disqualified if you just get into bed. Like, that's too much.
I don't think that's cozy.
That's asleep. You need to be cozy and relaxed, but not going to sleep.
Oh, that's part of the trick, I think, is like sometimes the coziest you can be or somebody looks is like they're just about to fall asleep, but they're not asleep, That like when your eyes are real low and you sunk into like a little, maybe a good beanbag or something.
Mm.
That's when you look the coziest. But as soon as you fall asleep, game over, disqualified.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's. I would say it should be judged on how at peace they seem rather than tiredness.
Oh, okay.
Like, you want to look at them and go, God, not a worry in their mind right there.
Do you know what would be good? Actually, this is the test. They say, get as cozy as possible.
Yeah.
Okay. And then each Olympics is slightly different. But as an example, somebody sneaks up behind them and fires a shotgun. And the person who flinches the least is like, whoa, you were cozy.
Yeah. I would like it that if this was an Olympic sport, all the people competing are still like peak athletes.
Okay, yeah.
They're still incredibly fit and toned like any kind of Olympic athlete is, but their sport is just coziness.
Yeah, full of muscle. Like,
yeah.
Do you know, I think something that has been a gradual transition for the Olympics, right? That sort of isn't really spoken about that much, is that I think the Olympics, since it was renewed in like 18 something, I think, it's only progressively got to peak athleticism. It didn't really start like that.
Yeah.
Olympics is just meant to be like average Joes.
Yeah.
Just like give it a go. And
we are seeing a bit of the resurgence of that with the people online. Everyone's really loving like that 51-year-old Turkish shooter. Just I don't know. I assume you've seen this guy. They've all got this really fancy like aiming gear that they use, and he just kind of walked out with his kind of like, you know, I guess they're custom lenses in that they are whatever prescription eyewear he wears. And some pretty simple earplugs, and won a silver medal.
Yeah, that's
and then
awesome.
the other guy is the one everyone seems to like is the pommel horse guy.
Yeah,
who's just kind of like a kind of, I guess for lack of a better word, a kind of a geeky guy that doesn't seem that interested in the Olympics, but is just really good at the pommel horse.
Yeah.
So there was like shots of him like playing games in the stands, not watching the sport.
Yeah.
Until he got up and was like, all right, here you go, here's your pommel horse or whatever.
Yeah.
Which I feel like it is leaning more back into like, these just look like regular people that are good at something.
Casual. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I feel like it was the idea, right, that it started because it was like you can't actually be an athlete and make a living. You know, like back in the day. Anyway, there was just no avenue to. So it was like you can't be a professional athlete because you got to work on your farm. And like that's you got to make the living. And maybe when the Olympics come around, you're like, yeah, I reckon I could do hurdles. I kind of miss that element of it. Now it is, the unfortunate thing is feels like it can come back to wealth and like, what's the country that's pumping the most money into having the fancy eyesights on the guns or whatever, you know, stuff
Who's
like that.
pumping them with the most drugs? Russia, obviously.
Obviously, right?
There's a reason that Russia as a country isn't in the Olympics this year, and it's some weird, like, you know,
not to do with the war that they're in.
No,
it's to do with all the drugs.
I think it's a bit of everything, Nelson. I'll be honest with you.
Everything. It's a bit of everything. We got a lot to answer for Russia. All right, Cambo, I think we should move on into Today I Advise. So now it's time for Today I Learned. Today I learned. And also sometimes advice. This Today I Learned is by Johannes P. Today I learned that the 1900 Summer Olympics in Paris featured cannon shooting, firefighting, life-saving, and angling.
This is one of the rare Olympic facts I knew, Nelson. For a very shallow reason.
Okay.
I work at a media company.
Yeah.
And part of that means occasionally you have to appear in someone's social media video that they're doing. It's just kind of agreed upon. If someone's doing a social media video and they need someone in it, people just go, okay, what are you?
You're the chump. Yeah.
I'm the chump. And this person was putting together a video about people's best Olympic facts. And they came to me and they said, Camber, all right, we need one more Olympic fact. And I was like, I don't know. There was a massacre at the Munich Olympics. I don't know. I can't think of a good one. And someone said to me, I'll give you an Olympic fact for this video.
I'm glad. Sorry, just to cut off your story very quickly here. Does everybody need to have an Olympic fact? It's weird that they were like, hey, we just need one more. Canberra, what's yours? And you were meant to just produce one. Like, why
Especially
is that so expected that like everybody's just got an Olympic fact?
Especially because if you went one row of desks over is the sports department.
Oh, come on.
Anyway, they said, I'll give you an Olympic fact. And they gave me this fact, to which I can also tell you that not only did it have cannon shooting and firefighting, it had electric boat racing.
Oh, yes.
It was not in the 1900s, but this was one that has been scrapped.
Yep.
And hot air ballooning.
Oh. You know what? That would be more boring than the swimming pool. Oh, look at that one go, I guess, slightly.
What's the challenge? Because from what I understand with hot air balloons is they take off and then they land where they land in a vague direction of the wind. Do they just set up a big X and whoever lands closest to the big X?
It's like darts if you were God. Yeah, I guess so. I don't know. That's really funny. Bring it back, I think.
Yeah.
I also, my understanding is that weather is incredibly important around hot air ballooning. And the idea that I can imagine that they went to like do it, meant to be a main event. And they're like, just for like 3 weeks straight, they were like, we cannot lift off in this kind of weather. Like we'll just be blown all over the place. So anyway.
I have another Olympic fact that I heard in the same time. The other person before me recorded this.
Okay. Today I learned.
Today I learned, Nelson, that in the ancient Olympic Games back in Greece, the penalty for a false start to a running race or swimming or whatever was death.
Oh my god! Oh my god! Let's bring that back. That's the penalty for drug use is death.
Yeah, it's pretty harsh, isn't it?
Yeah, that is pretty. A false start. No wonder we're breaking records now. It's because they would wait a full 3 seconds after the gun went off before they jumped in the water.
Just you're on the starting line and you kind of like stumble forward and go, and he goes, oh no, oh my god.
No. Death. Do you know what I would have done? Is if I was in the crowd, I would have had my own little starting gun. Just a fraction before their one goes off, I'd pull mine. Just see like 3 people run forward and like, wrong gun, you're all dead. Yes, cannon shooting I think is awesome.
Yeah, love that. Love cannon shoot.
Cannon shooting just sounds so cool.
I like to also imagine that it's one of those things where like it is still set up like a battlefield, so there's 2 people over either side of the of the Olympic field just shooting at each other.
Is that like that game? Did you ever play that game?
Worms?
Like DOS, I reckon. No, this was really early game where you just you were a little cannon, and I'm talking like 2D, super basic graphics, and it was like a 2-player game.
Yeah,
and you just like could change the height of your cannon, and it would shoot. I honestly think this was like I played this game pre Microsoft operating system computer game, and
I can vaguely picture this. Yeah,
I think it has been recreated since maybe, but yeah, I think it's really funny that to just do that as an Olympic game. Also ends in death.
Yeah.
No, I feel like you could make it so that it's just like you're not firing steel. You're firing like little plastic.
Well, whatever it is, you'd need to learn the weight of it because that would affect its trajectory.
I think this is the thing. Yeah, you'd have to practice with whatever it is. But I think it starts off more solid, but as it flies through the air, like loses mass. It's just like a ping pong ball wrapped in like flour. There's a big trail and then it just hits you at the end. Oh damn. Firefighting?
So they set a fire.
Yeah, do they set a fire and you have to just whoever's
the best thing about the firefighting Olympic game is you never know when it's going to happen.
Oh,
At some point, one of the Olympic buildings will set on fire.
Yeah.
And the alarm goes off and all the athletes have to jump out of bed and put on their gear. And
yeah. That's good. Then, well, it could be like a shift rotation thing too, where it's like it's a team sport. And there's always one person sort of around the central buildings. And yeah, it's like, how do they do it? And sabotage is allowed. So you can sabotage other people's, cut their hose, stuff like that. I think it's a good spot. All right, Campbell. Let's get into another one. Into shower thoughts.
Shower thoughts, shower thoughts, shower thoughts, shower thoughts.
This shower thought is by Zansor. Synchronization in the Olympics should not be limited to swimming and diving. Synchronized javelin throwing would be ideal.
Synchronized, what's something that's going to be really hard? I was going to say running because you have to keep your strides absolutely in sync.
I think that would actually be pretty cool to watch because it's still a race, I think, is the main thing.
Yeah.
It's not like the synchronized swimming where you have to, just get a good score. Yeah. This is like...
You have to keep pace but win.
Yeah. And like there's like time penalties, I think, that are basically... So you might finish first technically, but then they penalize you for all the times you were out of sync. And you're like, actually, we needed to add an extra 5 seconds to your score. That'd be cool.
Synchronized gymnastic bars. When they've got the 2 bars and they go between they're flipping around the bars and stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
But cool. Not 2 sets of bars, to be clear.
Yeah.
They're both on the same bar.
That would be really cool. I reckon that'd be fun to watch. Sorry, I just did a big yawn. I couldn't hold it.
Heart's not in it.
Yeah.
You can't get around this Olympic coverage that we're doing.
Yeah, it's too tiring. I've been watching the Paris Olympic Games so early in the morning, Cambo. That does suck about the Olympics, is the time zone. It's like only half the world can really watch the Olympics at any one time. Actually, I'm not really that sad about it. I've just realized it's fine. In fact, keep it over the other side of the world. I think that would benefit me greatly. Okay, here's another. This by Disastrous Mess 7236. It's an honor to get last place in the Olympics.
Now, because I don't know enough about it, is it? Is there something that you get? Or are they saying it's just because you are literally the worst of the worst?
No, I think they're saying you're the worst of the best.
Oh, yeah. They're
saying, it's an honor to be there anyway.
Yeah.
Because you are still
the best.
In the upper echelon. Yeah. To which I would say, probably technically not.
Well,
because I think every country, right? Oh, I don't totally know how all sports work. I think some have different ways to qualify. Different criteria to qualify. But I think some countries might be even entitled to, you can just enter, specifically, let's say something like soccer or whatever. I think you can be like, we've got a team and put it together. Mm-hmm. But you could be, I don't know, so you could be have an Australian soccer team, which is maybe worse than the 10th worst Italian soccer team or something like that, So it's like Yeah, like you came last because you were so, but hey, you made it to the Olympics. That's an honor in itself. It's like, no, but you're actually way worse than the Olympics makes you look. It's just that you were the best in your country, maybe.
Question. If you met the person that came dead last in running at the Olympics, do you think you could run faster than them? Because I don't think so. I understand what you're saying. I get what you're saying, but they are still the best in their country.
I'm not saying I could, but I'm saying there would be plenty other people from other countries that could beat them.
But to this point, they are still the best in their country.
At the Olympics. Yeah. Maybe the best in their country still, I suppose. I think it's just like here's the other thing.
Yeah.
If somebody said to me, hey, do you know I placed last in the 100-meter sprints at Olympics? I'd go, huh. That's my reaction. You know? I'm like, I'm not impressed.
I would just be asking them about like the Olympic Village. Like, what are the cardboard beds like? What's it like at the village?
Yeah. What was the best part of the Olympics? Because it obviously wasn't racing for you, was it?
Did you train or
that wasn't your fondness?
I think the confusion with this shower thought is reading it again now. It needs the word "still" in there. It's still an honor to get last place at the Olympics. True. Because the way it reads is like it's an honor to get last place at the Olympics.
Yeah,
which made me think of like, oh, that must.
Just try to get last place. I double dog there. Try training your whole life to get into the Olympics and then not get above last place. That's an honor in itself. There should be like an underground, like Olympics sort of thing where some athletes just try to get last place in every event. And it's kind of secretive until one day you notice like there's two people that are clearly trying to get last place in a race. They're just going slightly slower, but you can't get disqualified because then that doesn't count. I think that'd be really hilarious. Or maybe just at the start of the Olympics, few people get like X amount of athletes get a little envelope and they're like, we'll actually give you gold if you place last in all your events. And then you just put two people conflicting in one of
the race for last.
Some of the races. Yeah.
I like to see them at the finish line being like, oh, you first. No, you first. No, you go first.
I just like the idea, I think, of a bit of deception within the races and the events. Just, it's kind of boring being like, who's the best at this? I want to be like, who's the most conniving at this? That's the game.
And just like little things like, you know, they say, ready. So you're trying to lose in this one.
Yeah.
Ready, set, go. And they all run off and you stand and go, so did you say go? Oh, sorry. And then it looks like, oh, he must have just misheard, but really you're trying to come last. And that's your plausible way of.
Oh, yeah, because that's the other thing. If people catch you being like, oh, I think this guy is the one trying to be in last place, then you're also out.
It'd be a shame if my shoelace came undone while I was running, Nelson. That would be a real shame, wouldn't it? I'd have to stop and tie that up.
And the trick is to put on the waterworks as well. Right after you, like, this is my Olympic dream. I hope he's crushed. And they're like, oh, man, he's really sad. I guess he wasn't the mole. You know? Or to go for the double play is like you're in first position and then you take a big sack. So, like, you actually have to be really good first. Mm-hmm. You have to be at that level. Mm. And then to go from first to last, that's like, you're not thinking that person is going for the last place.
Yeah.
You're like, man, they were so close and they just missed it right at the end.
I would hire someone, several people actually, to pull off my version of this, where I would try really hard so it looks like I'm doing well. Maybe I'm even in front, Nelson.
Yeah.
And as I'm coming around the last bend towards the finish line, a van pulls up on the track, opens its little sliding side door. Some masked people get out, grab me and throw me in the van and drive off. No. And they're like, he was looking like he was going to win. And then he got kidnapped.
Oh, no. But in order to be not disqualified, I think there's the DNF, right? Did not finish.
Yeah.
So I think you also have to get released from it.
Yeah, that's true. So maybe their van drives off and swerves and crashes into a wall. I climb out.
Yeah, I think that's good. Medal secured. Then it would be an honor to get last place. All right, Kimber, let's get into podnapping.
Oh my God, I'm being podnapped!
Podnapping.
This is podnapping, where we nap a pod. We take a topic of conversation or a segment from another thing, and we do it ourselves. This week is my week, I believe.
Yep.
I've just realized I've stuffed something up, I think. Anywho, I have done Olympic-based podnapping, of course.
Of course.
You might have a leg up, Cambo, because I have put a list together of real and fake Olympic events throughout the ages.
Great.
And you have to tell me if they're real or not.
Okay. I like this.
Okay. The first one is tug of war.
That is true.
Yes.
Yes.
True. From 1900 to 1920, tug of war was included. Unicycling.
Oh, unicycling. What would be this? Like racing? Unicycle racing?
Could be racing.
Or is it tricks?
Could be like tricks like BMX tricks.
I will say no.
No. Yeah, I didn't. That's one I made up. Actually, I had got the help of ChatGPT.
Yeah.
And it started with extreme unicycling, and I was like, that sounds fake.
Yeah. I would have picked that a mile off.
And I thought maybe if I make it ambiguous, then I wouldn't mind that though. I think
it would have sounded more real if you had
racing.
been like 200 meters unicycle. I'd be like, that's
damn it.
interesting.
Yeah, I should have done that. Okay. 200-meter unicycle. Basket weaving.
True.
No, false. It sounded possible there, didn't it?
because it sounded so out there.
So bizarre.
You know?
Yeah. Life-saving. Oh.
True.
Yep. Yeah. Because I was in my today island.
Yes.
I forgot about it. I think just once in the 1900s, which must have been the last Paris one or something.
I reckon that was by accident. Someone was just drowning and someone jumped in and saved them. And they went, give them a medal for that.
Yeah, exactly. Diving horse.
Diving horse. I need to work out what diving horse is. Mm-hmm. Is it you get on a pommel horse on a diving board and go from you do a gymnastics trick on the pommel horse that dismounts into a dive? Or do you bring a horse up onto the diving board and ride it off?
Yeah, I don't know.
Since
Could be either one of those.
Don't know what it is, I'm going to say false, but I think it might be true.
It's true.
Yeah.
1904, and it was you get on your horse and dive into some water. Yeah. I mean, I don't have much information, I should say, about these true events. Sometimes, none at all. But that is the only bit of information I have on that one. That was like, you got on a horse, you dived
off. Wow, okay. Wow. Does the horse get a medal?
No, it gets eaten.
Yeah, it's sent to the glue factory.
Broke its leg in the dive. Solo synchronized swimming.
Look, there is a way you could do this, which is like someone does something and then you have to go in and repeat it.
Yeah.
But I'll say no.
No, it's true.
Is it? Am I right? Is that how you would do it?
1984 to 1992. It's not even that long ago, Cambo. Again, I'm sorry. I should have got more information. I don't know. Solo synchronized swimming was the thing. And I imagine it was just that the synchronized swimming is a bit of a dance, right? Mm-hmm. But so I'm assuming it was just kind of like, it was like synchronized swimming without the synchronized part. You're doing a cool dance in the water.
Oh yeah, but then that's just swim dancing. That's not synchronized.
Yeah.
It's the key to that word is the word synchronized.
My theory is that they were just trying to like relate the two without people getting confused.
Yeah, okay.
But
my theory is, and again, neither of us know, is that you did a routine and then either you or someone else had to then repeat the routine as precisely as possible.
I don't think that was it. I know I don't have much information, but from like just vague things that have spoken about it, I think, yeah, unsurprisingly, this seemingly contradictory sport earned little respect when it made its initial splash at the 1984 Los Angeles Games. Okay, so the supporters say that the synchronization is with the music.
Oh,
so yeah,
okay. Okay.
It is the exact same thing. It's synchronized dancing.
Right.
I mean, it's dancing, swimming thing.
Yeah, dance swimming.
But yeah, anyway. Okay. Pantomime.
Pantomime. That can't be true.
True. 1900s.
Yeah, I mean that's the era. That's the era you would do a pantomime.
Yeah. It's
Wow.
pretty good, isn't it?
Okay.
Funny.
Yeah, do a bit of panto. I'd love to see an Olympic winning pantomime.
Yeah, I know. It must be epic. I would imagine there's only children watching. So to me, pantomime is just for children.
Yeah.
Synchronized trampoline.
True.
No, not true.
I'd watch that.
Wouldn't that be such a good synchronized event? Way more interesting than the swimming, where, by the way, you can't see half of them. Give me some synchronized trampolining. Okay. Town planning.
I hope this is true.
Is that your final answer?
Yeah.
It is true.
Yes.
1928 to 1948. I do not understand.
I guess you just get a panel and go, yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, pop around about there. Yeah, flow of traffic would be minimized. Yeah.
Oh, water source right in the center.
Yeah.
Smart.
Clever. And this school is very accessible from a lot of the surrounding neighborhoods. Yeah, that's good.
Oh, and an area over there for the poor people. That's good.
We'd hardly ever see them.
I did happen to see on Wikipedia, I think it is, some of these events. I'm just trying to see if I can pick it up again. It shows you who got medals in what sports. I think I've got it. Hold on. So in town planning, a German in 1928, German Alfred Hansel won gold, Jacques Lambert silver, and Max Lerger in also German got bronze. The Brits got gold the next Olympics, and then the Switzerland. It is so bizarre that oh my god, there is a Nazi flag in here. 1936.
Oh boy.
Werner March and Walter March. What? They were a duo. These other people are just by themselves. But for some reason, well, they were German. They were obviously cheating. And they were Nazis at the time. So. But what's funny is I actually thought it was this one. Oh, hold on. I'll get to more. I'll do the rest of my podnapping, but just in case it comes up. Okay. Painting.
Painting. No.
True. 1912 to 1948.
Painting as in like, because there's all kinds, like you can paint a house.
Well, this one I did read a little thing about, which was they actually did their works well before the games.
Yeah.
And then
Well,
they
you'd
would
need
submit
to.
them
Yeah.
to see if they got a medal.
I imagine town planning would probably be somewhat similar, right?
I guess
But 10 minutes to plan a town, go.
Yeah, that's true. It would be funny. And also, there's going to be a Godzilla attack in 3 years. How do you plan that town? Yeah. Rope climbing.
True.
1896 to 1932.
Yeah.
Hula hooping.
True.
Not true.
I thought that might have been the craze in the 40s and the 50s.
Yeah, it seems like it could have been, doesn't it? Yeah.
I hope yo-yoing becomes an Olympic sport.
Hells yeah. Hand tennis.
As in like down ball?
It was like tennis with
you just hit your hand. Sure.
Yeah, I realized I said that as fact when I was describing it. I was like, it's it's actually called jeu de paume. Paume. I'm assuming it is like
tennis of the palm.
With tennis of the palm. Yeah, exactly. In the 1900s. Get a couple of bonuses here, Cambo. One is true, one is fake. It's Winter Olympics, ice sculpting, or ski jumping from a chairlift.
I'm going to say ice sculpting is real.
No, ski jumping from a chairlift is.
That one sounded too awesome to be true.
I know, isn't it so cool? Cool. Okay, anyway, I just wanted to point out that some of these bizarre sports I didn't include. So one was architecture. Yeah. Very similar to town planning. But what's so funny is in 1912, this is in Stockholm, somebody from what's the place with just a plus in their flag? Is that Norway? No, where is that? I don't know. I can't remember that flag. Anyway, just one person won gold. No silver, no bronze. But what's crazier is in 1920, Holger Sinding Larsen won silver.
No gold.
And no bronze.
That's a great.
And then in 1924 Paris, no gold. Then silver medalists Alfred Hayos and Dessau Loba. And in bronze, Julien Medicine. Isn't it crazy that they were like...
It's a great power move to be like, all right, no one wins.
Nobody deserves the gold medal for this one.
They should normalize that.
Oh, how about this one? Dramatic Works, 1928 Amsterdam. No gold medal. Silver medal by Laura De Bossis from Italy. And no bronze medal.
Dramatic work.
You did a dramatic work, and they were like, nah.
Thank God that doesn't exist anymore, because Tom Cruise would win it every year.
He'd win it every year. They're going to give him a gold medal. He's going to land at the closing ceremony, and they're just going to give him a gold medal.
Do you know?
Damn, nobody could do that as good as you just did it.
Do you know, it's no secret that we're a fan of Tom Cruise propaganda.
Yeah.
When the top prize you can win at the Cannes Film Festival is called the Palme d'Or, which is like very, very prestigious. As far as American films, only two have ever won it. One was Pulp Fiction. The other one was this year, a movie called Honora. It's very rare for American film to win the Palme d'Or.
Yeah.
Tom Cruise first screened Top Gun Maverick at the Cannes Film Festival.
Yeah.
And they made his own and presented him his own special Palme d'Or just for that movie. And let me tell you, that's not the kind of movie that normally wins the Palme d'Or.
Yeah.
It's a great movie. But the fact that he has his own special Palme d'Or from the Cannes Film Festival, he would have so many Olympic medals.
Yeah. Oh, man, that's so funny. All right. Now it's time for the Ask Me Anything.
You got the questions. We have the answers. So ask us anything at all.
This is the Ask Me Anything, where listeners just like you, listener, can write in and ask us anything you want.
Go on here from Lumen. Says, you guys may remember me by some information included in this email, but I've recently started listening again after over a year. When I finished grade 7, I stopped listening, and now I'm going into grade 9. I remember why I started listening every Monday/Tuesday. Time zones, and I can't remember. It's such a funny show, and I see why it helped me get through depression. Also, it's been like 8 years of the podcast, I think. So congrats on not quitting.
Thanks. I've just realized there's no question there. Thanks, Liver, for writing in.
In a way, it's been 8 years. Thanks for not quitting is a question.
Yeah.
It's been 8 years. All right. So, I mean, thanks for not quitting, but
like, quit? I think that's the question.
Yeah.
Quit?
And okay, we're shutting down the podcast because of Lumen.
Done. Yes, is the answer to that question.
There will be no more podcast forever because of this email.
I do want to briefly touch on the depression thing. Lumen, I'm really glad that we were able to help you through that a little bit. And I just so always feel obligated to say this. I know we've had some other people say similar sentiments before, and I really appreciated that. We of course are really happy that we were able to help people with something as tricky as that. But I feel very strongly about any form of media is really just sort of like a stopgap. And it might help you kind of in the moment or temporarily or something. But I think ultimately, if you are suffering from something like that, really you need to seek help in real life. I think it's really prominent. I see it so prominently in when I go to an event like PAX, which is a video game expo. And a lot of people you can see, I know they talk about it a lot, use video games to kind of help with their depression, but it kind of becomes the only thing that they can do to deal with that. I think you can, if you're able to, it's tricky to do, but try and get help in real life by a professional, by a parent, even by someone else, and try not to rely on the media so much, because it can end up being a vice and you can't live the rest of your life without that thing. And I think it's good temporarily, definitely. I think to have some times of an escape, but if you can, try not to rely on that sort of stuff. So anyway,
well
just
said.
wanted to mention that. Thank you. Okay, I've got another one here from Zimbo, which is a question. So let's do that one.
I'm actually just looking. There's no question mark on the end.
I know. I'm going to have to. Oh, yeah, that's true.
It is a question, to be clear, but there's no question mark. So read it like a statement.
Hey, mate, what should I respond to this absolutely insane scam message? I didn't do the inflection. Is that good?
Yeah. It still sounded like a question.
But
you did all you could.
You did all you could. As I could.
Yes.
Okay.
So what should I respond to this absolutely insane scam message?
Okay. Here we go. I've got it. So this is a screenshot sent to Zimbo.
Mm-hmm.
Honored client. Under a cloak of fog. I'm sorry, this is such a funny way to start it. Okay. Honored client. Under a cloak of fog, our officers get through the components to track down prolific districts with any charges of 573578. What is this nonsense? Their endeavors in refining, reusing processes and propelling maintainability keep on impelling natural improvement. Your request is affirmed. If it's not too much trouble, connect assuming that you have any questions. Kind respects and most profound thanks. That is just totally nonsense.
Could be true. Could be real. You never know.
Real. Could be real.
Here's what I think you reply to this, Simbo.
Do you want me to read the other one first? Or there's two.
Oh, there's two.
Sorry.
Sorry. Yes, read the other one.
Okay. Next one said, beloved patron, from the resonant call of a noble pig. Our expedition, teeming with rhinoceroses. Is it rhinoceri? I don't know. Rhinoceroses has soared to new heights. For charge number, blah, 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 blah. Each interaction has felt like crafting a grand opus, each note contributing to our impressive array of monumentous successes and orchestrating a harmony of triumphs. Warm regards and best wishes.
All right. I have the perfect response for this, I think.
Yeah.
You reply and you say, Dear Sir / Madam, please see all of my personal information, including bank account numbers and passwords here. And then you hyperlink the word here.
Okay,
and when you click on that, it sends you to this episode of the podcast.
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
And then we get a couple more listens.
And then we get a couple more scammers.
Because they're like, it's somewhere in here. We're going to hear all this information.
Maybe it's coded. Yeah. Just like our message clearly was coded. Yeah, that is so bizarre, so funny that like, it's obvious it must have just been AI, right?
Yeah. But AI is better than that.
It's so much better. It's like they've put it in a translator and then AI.
Yeah.
Maybe. It's like translated things slightly easier. Just the idea of starting with under a cloak of fog. Under a cloak of fog. We at Apple think that you are a great customer to us. Which actually I feel like Apple could do. We do operate under a cloud of fog.
Yeah, it's true.
We try not to let anybody know what's happening with our business because a lot of it is illegal and we are, in fact, ripping off many people. Yeah, that's good. All right. Link them this episode is the solution. That's it for another episode. Thank you for writing in Zimbo and Lemon. If you'd like to write into us, Reddit podcast, READIT podcast @gmail.com. You can also reach us at our subreddit or our Discord. The link is in the show notes. Rate and here's maybe a little Olympic challenge for you all.
Oh,
okay. We need to come up with scenarios for recommending our podcast in a bronze, silver, and gold capacity. Okay.
Yeah.
Gold is... Wait, we need to think, is gold as in a valuable listener for us? Mm-hmm. Or is gold just a difficult person to get to listen to the podcast in the first place?
Yeah, right. Okay, so you get like your 80-year-old grandmother or something.
Yeah. Or a hearing impaired person. That's really difficult.
That is difficult. And English, not their first language.
Oh, okay.
And they're reading transcripts in a language that's not their own. If you get that, that's gold.
Yeah. Yep. Okay. So gold is in that category.
Yeah.
Silver is what's done one step down. That's like parentage. Your parentage.
Yeah. Someone not in the demo.
Yeah. That's true. And then bronze is
just a valuable listener.
A friend, perhaps.
A friend, yeah.
Maybe that's too easy. An enemy.
Have you ever got a friend to listen to any podcast you've ever recommended?
I don't think ever. It is so difficult to genuinely recommend podcasts to people.
Yeah.
Because they're like, yeah.
Any
other podcast. In fact, you know what? I've changed the rules. You get a gold medal if you just get anybody to listen. It's difficult enough, let alone putting caveats. That's it. So thanks for listening, and we will read you later.